Hey guys, welcome back to another update of my Canadian dividend investing portfolio updates. I've been going for about 9 months or so, and I'm just documenting my journey as a Canadian investor, buying Canadian dividend stocks and just seeing how that goes, tracking basically every buy and sell as we go, using this custom Google Sheet that I made. There's a link in the description below if you'd like to try it. And I also use Wealthsimple Trade to buy and sell my stocks because it's Canada's only commission-free trading platform. Which is also really nice because I usually buy just a few stocks at a time so I don't get smashed with fees on every single one. If you'd like to try it, there's also a link in the description below where you can get $10 just for trying. But otherwise, let's take a quick look at my portfolio here. So my stock value is sitting around $19,200, and I basically am up just over 2,000, which is awesome. That's quite a lot for 9 months, I think. That makes up just under 14%. And we look here, we have the average yield. So every stock in the account has a dividend, and the weighted average of all of them is 3.95%. That's really nice to see for me because that means that I'm going to get about $750 per year of totally passive income, tax-free, because it's my tax-free savings account that I'm using along with the money that I deposit to also just buy more stocks and really get that compounding effect. Now, this is pulling in automatically, and if you look here in the portfolio, for the people who are using the sheet, I know there's been a lot of interruptions lately with the dividends, and everyone has had to basically copy and paste this in by bulk, and that's because Yahoo Finance changed the way that they structure their website, and that's where I was sourcing the information from. But I found a new source now, which seems to be working pretty stable. So if you're using the sheet, then just check your email in the next couple of days. I'm going to be sending out an update with version 3.4 where you can get it, because so far everyone else will be using version 3.3 or earlier. But these dividends that you see are the trailing 12 months, so they're a little bit lower than what would have been there before when it was previously using the forward annual yield instead. So because the companies are usually growing their dividend a little bit over time, the trailing 12 months will be a little bit smaller than the forward yield. So yeah, these numbers would be a little bit smaller than maybe what you're used to, but they're pretty close. So I think it's good enough for the convenience of it being actually automatic. So anyways, let's jump into Wealthsimple Trade and take a look at what I did. Actually, maybe let's just jump into the portfolio first. So you can see here it's up 14% all time. If we want to scan through some of the other durations here, in the last 3 months, it's up 8%. In the last month, we're up 3%. In the last week, basically no change. And also in the last day, basically no change overall. So earlier today, what I did is I came in and I made 3 purchases. I made one of MFC, this is Manulife Financial, for about $100 for 4 shares. EIF, about $120 for 3 shares, and SIS was about $61 for 3 shares. So let's take a quick look at what these companies actually are. So SIS, if you're not familiar with them, it's Savaria Corp. We can come down here and just get a quick little look here. A little bit about what they do. So they make like wheelchair accessible lifts and things like that. And anyways, they have a relatively small yield of 2.38%, but it has a high growth. So this one will grow faster than a lot of the other stocks that I have in the account, and that works for me. So if we come here also, we can maybe look up one of the other ones that I bought, which was MFC. And if you're not familiar with them, it's Manulife Financial, just a big financial and insurance company, and they've got a pretty nice yield of 4.44%. And then the other one that I picked up was EIF, which is Exchange Income Corporation. These guys are just involved in a lot of like little airline kind of things in northern Canada and like random stuff up there as well, but they've got a pretty strong yield of about almost 5.8%. So I've changed my job and now I'm working during market hours, so I have to sneak in the buys at lunchtime, so I can't do the live buys anymore. But Wealthsimple Trade is really easy to use. You basically just put in however many you want, and a market buy or limit buy, whatever, and you just hit buy. And just like that, now you have shares in your account. Super easy. And it's just really a nice platform to use. So let's go back into the Google Sheet then. And what I want to do is I want to log the transactions. So I come into the transactions tab and scroll down to the bottom. And then with the numbers that we just looked at, I just drop them in right here. And exactly what I paid for, especially using a market buy or market sell. Be careful because sometimes what you think you're going to buy it for will differ a little bit when what you actually buy. But anyways, once all of these are in, then the only thing left to do is just come back to the summary tab and just check basically how much our income has gone up by. So now we're at $770, almost $771, and that's an increase of about $13 since before I bought these stocks. So that's awesome. That's just pure passive income that it's going to grow as well. That $13 will grow over time, especially with companies like Savaria as they like aggressively increase their dividend. And yeah, it's just really nice to just continue lumping that back in, buying more and more shares, and then later in life I'll hopefully be able to start withdrawing this and live off of these dividends, because right now I definitely will need more than $64 per month to have a living wage in Canada, but that's okay. I've got time, and I'm not looking to withdraw this probably for a few decades anyways, and so I'd really like to see how big this can get in the next 10, 20, 30 years. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Anyways, guys, I think that's it for now. If you like this video, make sure you drop a thumbs up on it, and just leave a comment down below with what you're investing. Do you do you use Wealthsimple Trade, or are you using something else, or are you using the spreadsheet? Yeah, just let me know. I always like reading the comments down there and seeing what you guys are up to as well. So with that said, I think I'm out, and I'll see you down in the comments.